So one of our first interviews that we did, it got 500,000 views, and the title was "The Earth is Splitting Right Now" because you talked a lot about the Earth splitting. And since that time, I've seen a lot of different channels actually using that same title and focusing their interview around that topic. In a recent interview we did, you talked about there being a little evolution in that process, and it was further along. So I'd love for just an update on where is the Earth at in its evolution? Is it splitting right now? What's going on?
It's been splitting, and the idea, of course, is that you can have any number of realities that fit the belief systems that you have. I take it as a positive sign that, if it's true that we're going to have open contact in a couple of years, that's very soon. So I can only imagine that the people that are aiming in that direction are shifting into a reality where that's possible, whereas there may be people that are shifting into a reality where they don't want to experience that. They may be too afraid or what have you. So they'll have their reality where they don't necessarily experience that. And they won't be in the reality where those who are experiencing it are experiencing it. So we'll split. We are splitting more and more and more. And I think you're starting to see signs of that anyway, because, there are people who are adamant about certain things that are happening that is really, really representative of what they believe the reality to be. And there are people that are just as adamant that are completely opposite to them. So it doesn't necessarily mean that one is diluted. It could be that both of them are actually truly experiencing different realities where what they are saying they're experiencing is absolutely real for them. And that could be one of the first symptoms of the idea that we are splitting into different realities where we are experiencing different things.
So could I ask one quick follow-up? Every time I hear this, I wonder, are we splitting into specifically two different Earths that are very polar, or is it actually we're splitting into infinite Earths?
Multiples,
Yeah.
multiple. It's just easier to talk about too,
Yeah, right.
because we think in terms of polar opposites often, and so it's just easier to say, well, one half will go this way and some will go that way. But it's really a matter of gradation, and it's a matter of whatever your belief systems are may fit this reality a little bit better than this one, and these belief systems may fit this one a little bit better than this one, and so on down the line. Now, it may not necessarily be infinite in that sense, because there may be only a finite number of realities that represent the experience we call physical Earth. So, it may be finite, it may be infinite, it doesn't really matter. You're going to wind up on the one that you're navigating to with the vibrations that you create within yourself. And this is another reason why it's so important from Bashar's perspective to follow the formula. The formula is acting literally like a rudder, like a navigational tool to make sure that you are going in the direction you're navigating and shifting in the direction through different parallel realities that are more and more representative of your higher and better frequencies. So that's another reason why it's important in terms of how the formula will actually operate.
So just to be clear, it's like, is it the two primary splits are 3D and 5D, and then there's
No, no,
subsequent.
no, no,
No,
no, no, no, no,
no,
no, no.
no.
5D is non-physical.
Okay, gotcha.
Okay. People get this confused all the time. Density and dimension.
Mm,
Density is like states within a country. Dimensions are different countries.
mm,
Okay. So we're going from third density to fourth density, which is a higher vibratory state in the fourth dimension physically. Three of space, one of time.
mm.
When you go into fifth density, you are also going into the fifth dimension, which is non-physical. So you have to understand what the borders are actually like. So you can tap into fifth density spirit energy from a third density vibration, and that coming together creates the fourth density physical being. So you're using fifth density energy to elevate yourself into a fourth density physical being. But when you
Mhm.
finally actually shift into fifth density, you're a spirit again.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, yeah, people have to treat densities like states and dimensions like countries.
So from
Entirely
this
different.
split, then what's happening from a density perspective? Is it third and fourth?
It's third going to fourth.
Mhm.
Now, again, in terms of varying degrees of third density and fourth density. So some people may stay in third density, and that will be the Earth that they experience. Some people will go into fourth density a little bit, and that will be the Earth they experience. Some people will go into fourth density a lot more, and that will cause differences in the Earth they experience. So again, it's like a spectrum. It's not just this black and white, it's this or that. It's this and that and that and that and that in varying degrees according to our frequency. So just like on Earth, some people they like to go to the beach and they just like to sit on the sand. Some people like to dip their toes in the water. Some people like to swim out into the waves. Some people like to surf the waves. So there are varying degrees of what you can experience when you say, I'm going to the beach.
Mhm.
So there are varying degrees of what you can experience when you say, I'm shifting to different variations of the realities that are available to us.
So
It's a
what
matter
is it
of
that's
degree.
actually intensifying the split? Because everyone's saying, the split is happening now. What's actually intensifying it? Is it the pull from each density?
We're at the end of a cycle and the beginning of a new cycle. Earth is a planet of cycles. We have pretty much, let's say, gone. It's basically like graduating from third grade to fourth grade. It's like you're done with the lessons of the third grade. Most of you. Some people will have to repeat the class because they didn't get the point. They
See
may
you
have
guys
to go
again
to
next year.
Bye.
they may have to
See
go to summer school, whatever. And some people will repeat the third grade, but some people will go, I'm done with those lessons. I'm now going to the fourth grade or whatever.
maybe skip a
So
grade.
yeah. So it's just basically there are cycles of lessons, and you are at the end of a certain cycle of lessons, and you now can go and graduate to a new cycle of different lessons. And
Gotcha.
that's now happening more collectively than it is just individually. See, we've been doing it for so long, for many thousands and thousands of years, we have finally arrived, in a sense, for the most part at the graduation point where it's time to have learned the lessons of the third density and now move into the lessons of the fourth density. That's just the timing of the cycles of the earth and what it's for. And the fact that we're looking at things like, oh, now we've discovered 5,000 plus exoplanets, and we know there's probably life on some of them, and intelligent life, and UFOs, and we're expanding our consciousness and talking about spirit and near-death experiences. All of these are the indications that there are new lessons opening up for us and that it's time to close the books on the third density for most people.